What's up, guys? Welcome back. Winter is rolling in, and that means the NFL playoffs are just about to start, and I'm sure you guys need some fantastic game day appetizers. So today I'm going to show you how to make these delicious short rib sliders. This recipe is super simple. It comes together really quick because we're using the pressure cooker. We're hitting these with some barbecue sauce, a couple different toppings, and throwing them on some Hawaiian rolls. But before we get into the recipe, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen. First things first, let's talk about these ingredients. Today, we're using some beautiful boneless short ribs. This is about 2.5 pounds worth. We got some beef broth, a little Guinness beer. The beer is obviously optional. You can cut that out and use red wine, or if you don't want to use alcohol at all, double up on the beef broth. We've got some fried onions for our topping, gouda cheese as well on the Hawaiian sweet rolls. Got some tomato paste, carrots, garlic, fresh herbs including rosemary and thyme, onion, and a little sweet heat pickles for our sandwiches as well. All right, guys, so to bring the flavor to these short ribs, not only are we gonna season them up, we're gonna braise them or pressure cook them with some fresh herbs. We got rosemary, thyme, we've got an onion, we got some carrots, a head of garlic. I'm gonna add some Guinness beer, again, optional ingredient, a little tomato paste, and some beef broth. All of that's going in the pressure cooker along with our seared short ribs. If you don't have a pressure cooker, you could also follow along and put this in the crock pot or in the oven. So my personal preference is to just salt the short ribs at first. We're gonna add plenty of seasoning and flavor to these, but I like to salt them a couple hours before it's time to cook, or even overnight if you have the time. That allows the salt to really penetrate the meat, adding tons of flavor. Secondly, it helps ensure that you get a nice crust on your short ribs without burning up all your seasoning in the Dutch oven when you start to cook at high heat. So just start with salt, and we'll add all the other seasonings a little bit later. I'll explain to you why and show you why here in a minute. But a nice generous application. Remember, guys, this is 2.5 pounds of short ribs, so make sure you season it as such. All right, you guys know the drill. With short ribs, one of the most important steps is to get a good sear and crust on your short rib. And in order to do that, you gotta get your Dutch oven or cast iron skillet smoking hot. We're gonna add our short rib. Don't crowd the pan. Press down for maximum surface area contact. And just give them about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Make sure they got a nice golden brown crust. That's gonna add flavor and texture to the recipe. And that, my friends, is what you call a perfect sear. All right, so after you sear your short ribs, you wanna give the skillet a minute to cool off a bit. And then we're going in with our veggies. So the onions, the carrots. If you got some celery, you can throw that in there too. They're really just there for flavor. I'm gonna save the garlic and just put that in the pressure cooker because it's gonna, cook down quite a bit in the pressure cooker. No need to really cook it too much in this skillet. So now is when we can start seasoning. So we got our veggies in there with that beef fat and avocado oil. We're gonna hit that with a little AP seasoning. We're also gonna bring the flavor with the Better Than Bouillon beef base. That's gonna beef up the beef flavor. About a teaspoon or 2 of that. We're also gonna add 2 heaping teaspoons of tomato paste. Just kind of give that a mix. If you don't have my digital food thermometer, I suggest you grab one. It comes equipped with a magnet and a beer opener. We're gonna add half of this Guinness. I'll let you guys guess where the other half's gonna go. Make sure you taste as you go, guys, very important. To that Guinness, we're also gonna add about 3 cups of beef broth. We're gonna bring that to a simmer, and that's gonna be the liquid going in our pressure cooker. Now, as you can see, we've gone ahead and added the short ribs to the pressure cooker along with that head of garlic. And then we're gonna dump in all this deliciousness from our Dutch oven right on top. Set our pressure cooker to high pressure for 55 minutes. And then we'll have ourselves some perfectly braised short ribs. Can't forget our fresh herbs, the kind you cook with, not the kind that cook you. And that, my friends, is going in the pressure cooker. All right, guys, possibly one of my favorite things in the world, a perfectly cooked beef short rib. Just shredding right apart. It doesn't get more tender than that. Just do it right by hand or with 2 forks. If there's a little rosemary in there, then no problem. If it's too hot, you can grab a couple forks and just shred it up. We're gonna warm our barbecue sauce and then mix that right on in here with these short ribs. You're gonna have yourself some fantastic sliders for game day. You can save some and make barbecue beef nachos. It's a million different things you can do with these short ribs. Can't go wrong with this recipe. Once your beef is shredded properly, we're gonna pour in that warm barbecue sauce. Use whatever your favorite barbecue sauce is. Mine is Blues Hogs, if you can find it. It's the best barbecue sauce in the world. They're not a sponsor. We're gonna toss this beef in that barbecue sauce. Man, this is gonna be good. Might should have saved this one for the Super Bowl. Let me know in the comments what other appetizer recipes you wanna see coming up. Got a lot of football on the way, so we'll need some recipes. All right, I know you guys know what these are. Nice pack of Hawaiian sweet rolls. Grab your bread knife, make sure it's one that's serrated, and then we're just gonna cut these in half, like you see right here. There we go. I'm gonna save the tops for now. And what I'm gonna do is grab this baking sheet. We got a wire rack. We're gonna place the bottoms on that wire rack, and then we're gonna top that with some smoked Gouda cheese. I know you guys are thinking, man, I can't believe this was gonna get any better. Well, guess what? Smoked Gouda has arrived to the party. There we go. And we're gonna place that into the oven first to allow it to start to toast, let the cheese start to melt. Then we're gonna hit it with the pulled beef, some fried onions, top it, hit that with some garlic butter, and we'll have us some sliders. All right, so for our sliders, we're gonna do a real quick and super simple garlic butter topping to pour right on top of the top buns. That's gonna add some flavor, also help those top buns get nice and toasty and golden brown. So we got about 3, maybe 4 tablespoons of butter in there. To that, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of garlic and a few tablespoons of parsley. And just mix that together. Hit that with a little salt and pepper if you want. And we'll brush that right on top of our top buns. All right, so we've partially toasted the bottom bun, got the cheese starting to melt. Now it's time to add this barbecue short rib. Don't let any of that go to waste, guys. Pile it on there high. You paid for it. Unless you don't like your house guests, you can give them a little corner piece. Next, we're gonna take a little bit more of that barbecue sauce. Just drizzle it right on top. Then we're coming back with more smoked Gouda, the way the good Lord intended. This is definitely one of those here for a good time, not a long time meals. It's gonna be worth it though, guys. Stick with me. Next up, we're going down with some of these fried onions. These just taste amazing. They're gonna add some texture. They go really well with the barbecue theme that we got today. Might as well use the last bit of that barbecue sauce too while we're at it. Give that bread something to stick to, along with the cheese, of course. And then top buns are going on. And that's gonna go into the oven for a few minutes. Then finally want to top it with that garlic butter for the last 5 minutes or so. And we'll have some fantastic sliders. So we got some good cheese melting going on. The tops are getting nice and toasty. Now it's time to brush on the garlic butter. Final little element of flavor. And it's going back in the oven for about 5 more minutes, and we'll be ready to plate this up. And this is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in here for a taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, my friends, the moment of truth has arrived. The hardest decision right now is trying to decide which piece I want. We're just gonna break this right on up. A little messy, but hey, I'm built for the job. Cheers.